When you care for a family member, you feel like you're losing it. You're losing your patience, you're losing your mind, you're losing your life, and you get tired of losing. That's why we're taking a break during this month's Soul Break. Hey everyone, I'm Denise Brown, and I host monthly Soul Breaks. We take a break for our soul because during a caregiving experience, it feels like it can be soul crushing. We have a theme every month, and our theme this month is a soul break from losing. So let's start. Okay, I had this idea for this soul break because it's February 2026 and I'm into the Olympics, and I always think about winning and losing during the Olympics. And so I thought, you know what? Caregiving can feel like you just can't win. And you get so tired of feeling like that you're working hard every day. Every day, you're doing so much and you feel like you're never ahead, you're always behind, and you just can't catch a break. So let's take a break from that. During our soul breaks, I show you an image and then I ask you a question that relates to that image. And it's really a time for you to reflect and journal if you want, or simply reflect, or simply close your eyes and just receive my support. Here's our first image. I have been looking at this image for years because I post good morning messages in my community, Caring Our Way, and I post a photo of coffee with the good morning messages. And when I go to Pixabay.com, which is where I get my images, this image always pops up and I think, well, I can't include that in a good morning message. And so it just seemed like the perfect image when we're thinking about this question. What have you lost? That's my first question for you to reflect on, to really name what you feel like you've lost and are losing. And I love this image because it looks like everything was in order. There's cookies to eat. There was coffee that was brewed. There's a spoon ready to use to stir in the cream and sugar. And then it all just kind of falls apart. And as it falls apart, it just makes more and more work for you. And that's what it feels like with losing. You lose ground and you somehow have more work to do, even though you've already done all the work you can possibly do. So for you, I'd love for you to think about naming what you feel like you've lost or are losing. I gave a couple examples at the start. That was losing patience, I think losing your mind, your sanity, and then feeling like you've lost your life. You could also feel like you've lost friendships. You've lost perhaps a stable family system if you feel like other family members are erratic in how they show up to support you. Perhaps you've had to put your career on hold so you can feel like you've lost aspirations around where you want to be in your career. You can feel like you've lost financial well-being. You certainly can feel like you've lost the ability to relax, to have downtime. You might have lost the ability to plan, to be spontaneous, to take a regular break, to be yourself. There's a lot that we lose. One of the reasons that I started doing these soul breaks is because I know that we have a tendency to just power through. Something upsetting happens, something heartbreaking happens, and we just think, I have to just get to the next minute. I'm just going to power through. And our body at some point simply cannot power through without carrying the impact of all that we have powered through in our past, which is why it's helpful for us to just take a moment and think about, what does it feel like to lose, to have lost, and to name it? Because it's real for you. You really have experienced that, and it's important to acknowledge that. Okay. So here's my second question for you. What can you recover? And when I think about this, it's about thinking through pieces of what's been lost that you can bring back in. When I think about a caregiving experience, I think about how it feels like it breaks our life and that our life is in pieces. And as you look at pieces, think about what pieces you can recover, that you can bring back into a moment, a day, a relationship, an opportunity, your life. What can you recover? Perhaps it was a really great habit you had before caregiving of just spending a few quiet moments before the day started to journal or listen to good music or read something that speaks to you spiritually, your belief systems, and somehow that just got lost in the chaos of caregiving. How could you recover that? And maybe it's recovering it so that it happens at a better time during the day. It might have happened at that time before caregiving because you had a choice and that was the best time. Now that caregiving has happened, perhaps that's no longer the best time, but it's a good practice. So, what's the new habit, new timing for that practice? What can you recover so that you can bring it back into your life? And it could be something that you bring back into a moment, into a relationship, into a day, into an experience, a situation. What can you recover? And it's helpful to think about this because it reminds us not all is lost. Might be a little misplaced, it might be hidden. You can recover what's most important to you. And I love this image because it's this light that we can shine on that piece we want to recover. Okay, here's the next image and the next question for you. What can you take back? And I love this image because, boy, don't we want to take one of those? It looks so appealing. It looks so beautiful, each potted plant. It looks like a professional created it. A master gardener put her or his special touch on the daffodils and the other flowers. It looks spectacular. And it definitely looks like something worth taking. And in your life, you have something spectacular to take back. It could be your sense of humor. It could be your ability to be present, to be in the moment. Take that back. And as you take that back, be in the moment for yourself. when you can. Maybe you want to take back your own creative outlets like writing or painting or gardening. Maybe you want to take back something that feels nurturing for your soul, for your heart, for your essence. What can you take back? And I think sometimes we lose something because we forgot we put it on the shelf or the back burner. And this is where you go get it off the back burner. You take it off the shelf and you think, I'm taking this back into my life. It doesn't have to be significant. It doesn't have to be huge. It has to be important to you. What can you take back? And here's my third question to you. What can you keep? So it could be that you do have a routine. Maybe it only happens weekly or monthly. You know that routine means a lot to you. Keep it. And you keep it by letting everyone know you are unavailable during that time every week or every month. That's how you keep it. It could be that you keep photos that really comfort you nearby. It could be that you keep favorite books or favorite sayings nearby. It could be that you keep your favorite playlist on your phone nearby. You keep what matters to you. And I like this because it's this great image of someone holding something healthy to keep. What's great about this too is you get to decide what's healthy for you to keep. So it could be that you decide I'm going to keep boundaries because that's healthy for me to keep. I'm going to keep in one healthy snack during the afternoon. And it also could be that you keep the faith, you keep hope, you keep connecting to others who get it by attending a support group meeting online or in person. What can you keep? So we just went through 3 questions for you to reflect on. What can you recover? What can you take back? And what can you keep? Now we're going to think about what you believe about where you are at this place in your life. For instance, what we're really looking to do is replace a belief statement that might sound like, I believe all is lost, with a belief statement that sounds like, I believe I have found what matters most to me. I believe I can keep my life during a life of caregiving. I believe there's a way forward for me. So reflect on, what's a belief statement that really helps you and reminds you of what you can keep. just one more idea for you. I believe, okay, I'm going to say it again. I believe boundaries help me keep what's most important to me. And then we use our belief wheel to get a little more specific about belief statements as they relate to categories. We have 8 suggested categories. There's more than this, but it's just a place for you to start to think about what's my belief statement around how I keep play in my life. And it could be that your belief statement is, I believe that playing Monopoly with my family on the first Saturday of every month is an important event to keep. I believe that I can connect with others who feel like family, so I keep love and support in my life. I believe I can keep the holidays in a way that works for me right now. I believe I have the courage to pick up the pieces and put a life that matters back into place. I believe I keep good health during caregiving by giving myself downtime every day. I believe my values will drive my decisions about what to keep during caregiving. You could use this wheel to create one belief statement that's most important to you, or a series of belief statements that become like your life guidance. And so if you're ever at a crossroads where you're thinking, based on where I am in my life, what do I believe I could do next? And then you have belief statements that say, this is what I do. Okay, so here's the last image and the last question for you. What's your win? I love this image because of the confetti midair. What's your win? And every win, no matter how small, is worth celebrating because you know how hard those wins are to get. Take note of your wins. If helpful, you could think of them as positive things that happen during your day. We actually prompt you to share your 3 positives that you experience every day on our community, caringourway.com. There's a post that goes out every evening and it says, what are your 3 positives? And I post pretty much every day 3 positives that I can think of. And there are days where I think, wow, this is going to be hard because there were no positives. And because I do just really work it through my head, I think of a positive, 3 positives. And because I know I'm going to post 3 positives in the evening, I also am more aware of what's positive that's happening in my day. Our mind starts to look for what we tell it to look for, positives, a win. And it could be that you're just looking for one win. What's a win for me today? What's a win for me today? When we feel so covered up by all we're losing, it feels like it's hard to declutter the losses to find the win. And you have done something that's a win. I know it. And when you realize what that win is, write it down. Honor it, celebrate it, pay attention to it because you worked hard to get that win. Okay, that's our soul break from losing. And I hope this was helpful for you. If you like what we do with soul breaks, hit a like on this episode. If you like what we do on our YouTube channel, subscribe. And if you know someone who feels like they are drowning during caregiving, feel free to share this episode with them. And join us on our community, caringourway.com. We'd love to connect with you. We have chats and special events. We'd love to get to know you. We'd love to support you. Okay, thanks so much for all you do. Thanks for joining me on this soul break. See you next time. Bye-bye.